y'all, welcome back to our channel. In the words of Spike Lee, do the right thing. Shout out to everybody in Brooklyn, Fort Greene, that is 29 Fort Greene Place. Shout out to all the tech nights. But definitely Julius right now is giving people the side eye. I do have an update on that serious situation. Incredible as it may be, those squatters in that DeKalb County home, there is a late breaking update tonight that took place at about 6 p.m. So let's go to the tape and then we'll talk about this when we get done on those squatters in that DeKalb County home of that family who just lost their father, and then someone plethora of people, bum rushed the house and took over. Well, there's an update with WSB TV, Ashley Lincoln, and we're going to go to the tape and we're going to see what has happened. This is all taking place probably within an hour or 2 or 3 ago in Atlanta, in DeKalb County. Let's see what happened, because the thing was, they had until today. Dontavius, he was the gentleman, and I have to make some corrections. He turned himself in. When he found out about this situationship, he did turn himself in. But these are some late breaking updates as of 6 o'clock this evening in DeKalb County, Georgia. Let's go to the tape.
As DeKalb County Sheriff's deputies executed an eviction at a home taken over by squatters. We first broke this last week, and since then it's gone viral.
Channel 2's investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln was the only reporter on this as deputies searched in South DeKalb. She's live now from their force tonight. Ashley.
George and Linda, this family is just happy to have their property back. We were out here as deputies went in through this front door, the back door, looking throughout this property to make sure there were no squatters inside. Neighbors believe the squatters left early this morning after they saw a U-Haul truck in the driveway.
Everything is clear. Clear. Okay. Thank you. We're just happy. We're happy to get our parents home back.
The Oliver family say they are breathing a sigh of relief after squatters finally left their childhood home.
This is very traumatic.
Channel 2 Action News was the only station there as deputies went through every room. No squatters were inside. Pictures taken by neighbors show a U-Haul truck in the driveway hours before deputies arrived.
So look, guys, they were able to get the house back, and the neighbors, probably their cam, or maybe the neighbors will put on notice, watch that house for us. So early this morning, because these people know that the popo comes real early. Early this morning, there was a U-Haul out in front of the house, and these people who had taken over the property illegally were moving out. So let's see what else happened to the home and what kind of condition the home was in. Let's see what they have to say.
Anxious to get inside and see the condition of our property.
Last week, the Olivers said squatters cut the locks off the home and moved in a day after their father's passing. The home sat empty for months as their father received medical care at a nursing facility. And they were expected to close on the home last Friday to a new buyer.
This has been an ordeal.
After deputies searched every room in the home,
they
the
look
Olivers
6
were finally
deep, the
able to go
sheriffs.
inside.
Do you have a lease to be here?
Yeah, I do.
One of the squatters was this man, Dontavius Isaac. He told me they were hosting a party.
Pool party Saturday, man. Y'all pull up.
What you're doing is more than just about having a good time. You are committing felonies.
After Channel 2's investigation, that party didn't happen.
$50 tip,
see? Home Saturday afternoon. Isaac is currently in the Greene County Jail for violating a 2024 felony charge because he was the one who told investigators he had a lease and hasn't presented one before the 3-day window that's required by state law. He'll now be charged with a felony.
Our goal is having our last moments walking through our family home.
And the family did a walkthrough of the home. They didn't want cameras inside. Now, when they went inside, they found the squatters left the home extremely dirty, and they found a couple of holes inside some of the walls. Right now, they are waiting for this property to be locked up, and they've also hired security to sit out here until the new owners take over this property. Reporting live tonight in South DeKalb, Ashley Lincoln, Channel 2 Action News.
I'm doing the happy dance. I'm so pleased and happy that this family is finally able to get back into their home, do their final walkthrough, albeit that they have to do some cleanup, maybe fumigate, get some deep cleaning done. But I'm so happy that the outcome is what it is. We never know what people are going through, but it's always those simple things in life. Something as simple as a house that you grew up in. There are a lot of memories for that family there. And just like Chris is doing in that dance with his loose leaf notebook, if you know, back in the day, I didn't have a book bag. We carried our books, in our hand. But they're able to go back into their family home for probably the last time. They said goodbyes to their parents and to their parent. And, I'm glad things turned out the way. I'm glad this was expeditious. I'm glad DeKalb County Sheriff's Office took this seriously and got right on it. And so therefore, this chapter in their life, they can close this chapter and move on. It's a beautiful home. And just looking at the home and the picture there, I'm sure there was so many memories. And their dad would be proud of them that they stood up and came together, even in wake of tragedy and adversity. It seems like this is a close-knit family. So their dad would be proud of them. And I am, pleased that this was the outcome. But it also, you look at the other side of people who really don't care. They do things as they may, and they don't care what has happened. They didn't care. I'm trying to figure out truly how did they know this was vacant? Did they see it on the MLS? They moved in a day after he passed away. Were they watching his family? I'm not sure how this has worked out. I would love for the police officers to ask Don Terrius how they came upon this house. Was it random, or had they been watching this house? But again, I'm glad that it turned out the way it did. Beautiful home. It looks between 3 to 4 to maybe 4,000 square feet. And their dad probably worked really hard to provide something like this. This house is over 40 years old, all brick, so he probably worked really, really hard to provide a home for these children. And they're very fortunate. I grew up in the PJs, and they grew up in a home, which is a lot to say for African-American Black people. But again, these are the stories that I'll be bringing to you, the squatter stories, the homeowners association stories, and just stories that really impact us in our lives. Without housing and shelter, those are one of the basic, Maslow's hierarchy. We need shelter. People need affordable housing. But this is not the way you go about doing that, by bogarting your way into somebody else's home. It's just not the way things should be done. And that's the reason why they've enacted these laws. There's a Squatter Reform Act in the state of Georgia. So again, I'm happy that things turned out this way. And I'm grateful to you guys for sticking with me on this journey. I'm just getting back to my roots, getting back to what I used to report on. These stories for me mean a lot to me. Emotionally, I have something vested in it, because you want to see everybody do well. At least I know I do. I want to see everyone do well. And a part of doing well is having a safe place to lay your head at night. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't have that. There's a lot of affordability crisis, homelessness, and people who had everything together, one slip up and you could find yourself homeless. So guys, let me know what you think about this. This is a good ending to this story. Again, my condolences to that family for the loss of your dad. And, to all the people who reported on this story, to bring it to the forefront. I will see you guys on the next upload. Thank you again for liking, subscribing, and sharing these videos, because it does help with the algorithm. Peace.